You may be wondering, how can my stories get crazier? Well, I'm here to bring you this story. Hello gorgeous, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new, and if you are new, don't forget to click that subscribe button and turn on the bell to be notified every single time I drop a new video. So recently in one of my last story times, I told you guys that I had another dating fail where someone just lied about who they were, and yes, this is the video. Today I'm going to talk about the time that I dated a stripper, and no, I did not know. This all came out after, and we didn't date for too long, obviously, because of the events that unraveled. You guys will hear about that later into the video, but before I jump into it, comment down below any of your crazy dating stories. If you guys want to talk to me more, you can always message me at NicolettaXOYT on Instagram. I can't believe we are talking about this now. I swear this stuff should only happen in movies, but we are here. And on that note, let's jump into the story. So we are going to rewind it all the way back into university. I told you guys in one of my videos that I have a lot of crazy university stories, and this is one of them. And this one just makes me genuinely laugh when I think back to this time in my life. It was an interesting one. I ended up going out one night with all my girls. We used to go out all the time in university. Everyone would get together and it was just a big fun, like, you know, party all the time. So I went out with all my girls in downtown Toronto and I met this guy, which we shall call him Mr. Sprinkle. Mr. Sprinkle came into the place where I went with my friends. He actually ended up coming up to me and meeting me and asking what my name was and kind of talking to me, and he came with his friends too. So his friends kind of, I guess we're talking my friends, but nothing really came out of that. I ended up giving him my number. He asked for it, so I gave him my number and I was like, you know, what the heck not? I don't know why I do that. I need to stop giving my number out to a lot of people. It was university. I wasn't really, you know, looking for a serious relationship or anything. I kind of wasn't expecting much. I was honestly having so much fun with my friends and just focusing on like university studying and school and working. But he asked me out and I was like, you know, let's just go out and see how this goes. And we just went out to a nice little dinner. It went really well, just getting to know the person, and he asked me a lot about what I was doing in school and what were my goals and my plans, and he actually talked a lot about his job. So he said he worked for a business and a corporation, and he was really high up in there, and he's been working there for many years, and he talked about all the accomplishments he achieved and everything he's done at his work and what they do. He even then proceeded to show me things on his phone, talking about all the things he accomplished, showing me things he accomplished in places he had went for his work trips, and he just made it seem like he was a very successful entrepreneur and he was working for a really large corporation and he was very ambitious. And he was going on a lot about this job that we will later find is not the actual job Mr. Sprinkle has. But I don't know this at the time. I'm obviously believing all of the stuff he's saying. He's very detailed and he's also showing me like photos of things. So it's like he literally planned this before the date and like set out an entire speech, or maybe he's done this to many other girls before and he's just used to it and believes it now. But it was not the truth, so yeah. I'm talking about what I'm doing in school and what my job was, and I was studying psychology and I was a mental health worker at the time, so I was talking a little bit about that and kind of my future goals. And at this time I didn't have YouTube. Oh, the days were so different. We ended up finishing the date and I went home, he went home. It went really well. Like, it went as well, I guess, as first dates can go. I find first dates really awkward and I hate first dates. I just like want to skip to the part where you actually know the person and avoid these uncomfortable situations that I always went through. But it went as good as I guess it could go. We were planning to see each other again. I was super busy though with my work and my school, so we didn't really plan anything right away because I had so much going on. And actually not long after, I had a bachelorette party to go to that was on the weekend. So I was celebrating a bachelorette party with a friend that was getting married, and my best friend was actually coming with me on this bachelorette party. I was so excited for it. I remember we were so pumped. We got like, you know, all the cute decorations for bachelorette parties, little satchels and little cups and everything that you can think of. And the plan for the bachelorette party was to go to a male gentleman's club, a strip club essentially. There's actually quite a few strip clubs near my university. Gotta love Ryerson. We just went to one super close to my school, and I never went to one, but you know, that's what you gotta do when it's a bachelorette party. So we ended up all jumping into the cabs, and then we headed there, and we ended up going in. So when you go in, we all sat down, but I think like you have to, or so we were told, to buy like a couple drinks or something in order to stay there. So that's what we did, and there was a pretty big group of us, so we were all sitting together in this table. The guys are coming out and stuff. We're all laughing and giggling and being super annoying, and we're just all like hanging out together. And it was honestly such a fun night. And what ended up happening is all of a sudden, Mr. Sprinkle gets called to the stage. So at this time, I was facing the back to the stage, and I was just talking to all the girls, and all of a sudden I hear this guy being called out. Of course, they didn't use his real name, they used his stage name, so I didn't know that Mr. Sprinkle was strutting himself out there all in the nude. So I didn't even turn around, and my best friend like whacks me on the arm and says, "Isn't that Mr. Sprinkle?" I turn around, my face dropped. Am I seeing what I'm really seeing? I just couldn't believe it. She's the only one that actually knows about Mr. Sprinkle. She never obviously met him yet, but you know, my best friends and I know everything about each other, and we always tell each other who we're seeing or like show a photo, so she recognized him right off the bat. And right when I turn and I notice that it's Mr. Sprinkle, what does he do? He looks at me dead in the eyes. We make the most awkward eye contact, and you could tell his face just completely dropped, and he's just on the stage, and he obviously, you know, can't walk off. He has to, you know, do his thing, and I just remember feeling the most uncomfortable anyone could feel. And I remember it was so awkward. No one else at the bachelorette party knew, because no one really knew about it, and some of the people at the bachelorette party I didn't personally know. It was more friends or family of the bride-to-be. Looking back now, I think it is the funniest thing ever, but I remember being traumatized. And once he was finished his dance, he came up to me and he basically like apologized. He didn't know what to say. Like, he obviously got caught in his lie, and I genuinely believe that everything comes out. The truth will always come out, so you might as well be honest. And I feel like this was just meant to be. I was meant to see this person and see the truth, because he clearly was not being honest. So I ended up cutting it off. You know, you do you, boo, but do not lie to me. Lying is my #1 pet peeve. I think it is the worst. If you're gonna start off a relationship, how can you start off a relationship when the first thing you do is lie? When one of the most important things of a relationship is trust, and if you're already lying off the bat, then that's just not a good mixture, and that is definitely a red flag. So we ended up stopped talking. Let me tell you, the rest of the night was real interesting, but you know, he kind of went in the back a lot after, and he just couldn't look at me pretty much, and it was just real great. It was like really awkward too, because I remember someone went up and got a private dance, I guess, with him, and I was just like, love my life. My best friend and I still think about that story and literally laugh, because my face alone was just hilarious. Like, I wish you guys could have seen my face, because it was a lot. It was like honestly a page out of a movie. My life, I don't know where I was finding these people, but I was finding them. So I basically had no connections with him anymore, and it was done. But a few years later, which this always happens, years later, things always just come out. So I ended up meeting this guy at my gym. We were just friends, and he knew Sprinkle and one of his friends, I guess. He didn't know that I knew Sprinkle, and he was just kind of talking about it and saying that, oh, like, I found out that this person and Sprinkle are strippers, and they ended up both traveling to Miami, and I guess, doing that whole thing in Miami, and now I don't know like what happened or what's going on. I know that at one point they were living in their car because they traveled to Miami and tried to be like these whole strippers there, but I don't know what's going on anymore with him. I'm not sure if he's still there or where he is or what he's doing now, but you know, you do you, boo. But although nothing came out of it, at least I can share it with you guys and we could both have a laugh. I don't understand why lie when, like I said, one day you're gonna find out the truth. I hope you guys enjoyed this little lighthearted dating fail story. Thumbs up if you liked it, shared it with your friends. Like I said, totally check out my storytime playlist. There's a ton of other funny stories in there. I would love for you guys to check it out. Don't forget to click the subscribe button to join my YouTube family, and I do upload every single week. Thank you guys so much. I love you, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!